Hello friends, my name is Ashwini Narodi. I am from Abhinav Education Society's College of Computer Science and Management. Today we are going to start with a new session and new course which is a theoretical computer science. So let's get started. First of all, we see what does mean by theoretical computer science. So basically, it is a part of computer science which uses some computational models like algorithms. So you know guys, what are the algorithms? Algorithms are the set of rules which can be applied when we solve some problem and when we have some programs. So this theory of computation basically deals with how efficiently problems can be solved on model of computation. In case of model of computations, we have some examples like Turing machine. So this Turing machine is developed by Alan Turing in 1963. So this is an abstract machine which used as a model of computation. It uses an infinite memory tape where the information obtained are saved, analyze this information to determine whether the operation is feasible or not. So, next question is, why do we study computational theory? For deeper understanding of what is computing and what is computer. So basically its practical use is web search where pattern matching happens, and we know guys what is pattern matching. Basically it is a process of checking whether a given sequence of characters, tokens or data exist among the given data or not. For this pattern matching, we use some regular expressions for solving purpose. So next question is, what are the benefits of studying this theory of computation? So it teaches the way in which computer can be made to think. Now let's jump to the most important part of theory of computation, which is a finite automata. So first question is, what does mean by finite automata? So it is an abstract machine which is used to recognize the pattern. So what does mean by abstract machine? Abstract machine means it is just an imaginary thing or imaginary thing, or it is not physically present, and it recognizes patterns. Means patterns are the basically the ways in which we arrange something or in which we develop something like shapes or colors or lines. So basically this FA have two states, accept or reject. If input string is processed successfully, then this automata goes to the final state and accept the string, and if something goes wrong, then it will reject the string. So why it is called as finite automata? Finite automata means its meaning lies in its word itself. So finite means it gives the number of possible states and number of inputs are finite, and this is called as finite automata. And also the meaning of automata, because the change of state is completely decided by incoming input. So decided by incoming input means it does some predefined tasks, but all these tasks are not known by the machine. So, how this abstract machine works? Basically, this abstract machine consists of five components. First of all, state of FA, second one, single internal register, third one, set of values for register, fourth one, tape reader, and the last one, instruction set. So, first one is state of FA. State of FA represents the internal status of machine and denoted by Q0, Q1 up to Q1. So single internal register is register contains one of the state as its value, and its initial value is Q0. Set of values for registers. At the beginning of computation, the value of register is Q0, which is a start state of FA. These registers are also called as finite control. Next one is input tape or tape reader. It is a linear tape and is designed into a square. Each square holds one element from alphabets. This input tape can be infinite length tape because we don't know the upper limit, and all the inputs are placed from one by one, left to the right. The tape head, also called as a read head, which reads the single square of input tape. The instruction set. The instruction set is obtained from the transition function of FA. So let's have a look on execution sequence of FAs. Consider a string like A, B, C. Draw a tape reader which is divided into a squares. Place our string in this input tape. First of all, the execution of instruction changes the state of machine and moves the tape head one by one from left to the right. So initial state is Q0. This is called as read head. This computation begins with the tape head and it scans the leftmost square of the tape, which is Q0. Now, the machine changes its state as per the given instruction and moves the tape head to the right side. It's a Q1, right? The same process is repeated until the tape head scans the blank square, which gives the terminate. Scans Q2. Now it finds the blank square. Now operation is terminated. Now your string is accepted because the computation terminated and your string is accepted. If something goes wrong, then your string gets rejected. So, your formal definition of FA is, it is basically phi tuple M gives Q sigma delta Q0 final state. So what does mean by Q? It is a set of states, all the states next is a delta. It is a finite set of input symbols which can be a tokens like A, B, C, D, anything else. Next one is a delta. Delta is a transition function which is delta gives Q0 is the initial state and last one is F, which is final state or set of a final state. Right. Basically, it is a subset of US state or states. So, how you going to represent this FA? By graphically. Initially, we have a transition functions or transition set from which we have to draw the transition diagram. So let's have an example like Q0 is the initial state, Q1, Q2. Q2 is our final state. So Q0 goes to Q1 for 0, goes to itself for 1, Q1 goes to itself for 0, goes to Q2 for 1, and Q2 has a self for 0 and 1 itself, right? So start of the state or start is marked as an arrow and this is a final state, right? So now how we going to see, how we gonna write the transition function, which is a delta function. It is a transition function, right? So now transition function for q0, for 1, for 0. Now q0 transit to q1 for 0. q0 carries 1 to q0 itself. For q1, for 0, for 1. Now q0, q1 goes to q2 for 1, and q0, q1 goes to 0 for q1 itself. Now transition function for q2 for 0, q2 for 1. So q2 goes to itself for 0, and also it goes to itself for 1. So this is our transition functions. Now let's draw the transition table. So how to draw this transition table? So your row would be the states or input states, and your column your column would be the number of states, and your row would be the inputs. So in this case, your q0 goes to q1 for 0, q0 goes to q0 itself for 1, your q1 goes to q2 for 1 and goes to itself for 0. Now q2 goes to itself for 0 and 1 as well. Now start of the state is denoted by arrow, and the final state is denoted by a star. So by this way we write the FAs. In our next video we are going to see the different types of FAs, which are NFAs and DFAs. So hope you guys understand these concepts of FA. So till then, stay tuned. Thanks for watching the videos.